my name is Jamie Rue, and I'm going to tell you why I'm not going to be reading Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. Two quick things. The lighting is weird because the lighting in this room is really dim, so I had to set up a desk lamp and putting it in my face, so ignore the glare on my glasses. And second, if you don't know where I am at a writing program at Columbia University, which is why I'm in a unfamiliar place. In a few hours, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is coming out. Many people are excited. By the time I've posted this, everyone will have gone to midnight releases and gotten the book and probably read a significant portion of it, and I will not be one of those people, and that's not because I have a curfew at this Columbia program. It is because I do not want to read it, and I don't plan on reading it, and I'm probably never going to read it. A few weeks ago, a friend of mine told me the plot to Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and I hated it. It was actually one of the worst things I'd ever heard of. Let me just say Albus Potter and Time Turner. That's generally what the whole play is about. It's the worst. It's actually, I think, one of the worst things I've ever heard. We didn't need this book. It's literally not even about Harry Potter. I don't understand. The main character is his son. The main character is Albus Severus Potter, which, by the way, that name, I still can't. This is canon. This story that has to do with Albus Severus Potter and a time turner is canon, and I cannot deal with that notion. I hate unnecessary sequels. We don't need them. We have too many of them. One of the things I like so much about John Green is he's like, nah, didn't plan for a sequel, not gonna write one. I like those people because that makes sense. You're not just tacking something on because people asked you to. Jenny Han wrote the To All the Boys I've Loved Before series, and it was a duology, right? And it wrapped up beautifully, and I was really excited, but guess what? It's a trilogy now because she randomly announced that it's a trilogy, and I love Jenny Han, so I'm gonna read it, but we didn't really need anything. You could have just left it. This is a public service announcement to all authors and publishing houses to stop publishing unnecessary sequels. It ended perfectly fine. You don't need to come back years later and say, oh, we're releasing a sequel. To Kill a Mockingbird, come on. I know that Ghost in a Watchmen is not technically actually a sequel, but it was advertised as a sequel, so let's just say it was a sequel for now. And it was the worst book ever. It kind of destroyed the first book because now it's canon? ? That's what happens, by the way, when authors release things under their own names. They become canon. They become part of the actual world of whatever it is, in this case To Kill a Mockingbird. Now in Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, apparently the plot of that happens and is canon, and I just don't need or want it at all. I'm all for fanfiction. I wrote it. I read it all the time. I love fanfiction. I'm one of the biggest proponents for it, I think. But this is literally just fanfiction that has been published and made canon, and it's actually the worst. Rick Riordan is the king of unnecessary sequels. You gotta stop at some point, man. I love the Percy Jackson books just as much as anyone else, but you now have a spin-off series plus a spin-off of the spin-off series, and it's just a little bit much. I'm still reading them. The spin-off of the spin-off series is much better than the spin-off series. I still don't know that you needed it. Cassandra Clare, she wrote the Mortal Instruments series originally, and it was 3 books. It was City of Bones, Ashes, and Glass, and then she added on Fallen Angels, Lost Souls, and Heavenly Fire, and we just really didn't need it. And I like those books. The 6th is my favorite in the whole series. It doesn't make any sense. The first half of the series has nothing to do with the second half of the series, and we're just reeling. It doesn't apply only to books. It applies to movies and TV shows too. Grease 2. Grease was great. We didn't need a Grease 2. My Girl, the movie My Girl, did not need a sequel. What? Supernatural? What the hell is how long are you planning on going? You're just going and going forever and ever, and I love Supernatural. I binged 7 seasons of it in a month, on a month trial of Netflix. After 5, it literally said the end. It actually said the end, and then you just kept going, and you're dragging it. It's sunk its nails into the dirt and is trying to stay there, but you're just dragging it by its feet. Supernatural is just gonna go on until they're grandpas. It's gonna be old Sam Winchester and Dean Winchester fighting demons and just the same nonsense, and we need to stop. There needs to be a place where you lay it down to rest. Let it go. I love books and the universes that authors create. I'm in the school of people who always says that I want more. I want more of those characters being cute, or I want blah 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 because I'm so in love with the characters and I ship this character with that character and I want to see more of them. And I'm very much that person, but when I say that, I don't actually mean that I want you to write another book, okay? When you're writing a series, you have a very specific foreshadowing type thing that you need to do. So in the previous book, the book that comes out before it, you're gonna like set it up so that what unfolds in the next book seems natural and isn't just completely out of the blue. Sarah J. Maas's A Court of Thorns and Roses series is a perfect example of this being executed beautifully. If you read the first book and the second book and you look back at the first book, you're like, oh my god, there are so many things that she planted in there that I missed. What? It's amazing, and that's such a good reading experience. When you have unnecessary sequels, you don't get that because it's just an author going, hey, I want to please people, so I'm just gonna tack on another thing, and it's just the worst. And Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is gonna be the worst. We just so didn't need it. If Stephenie Meyer wrote another book after Breaking Dawn, there's not even a piece of a chance in hell that I would read that book. It would suck. It would be the worst. I would hate every single thing about it because the story was wrapped up in Breaking Dawn. It was the 4 books. It was fine. It worked. And then it was the end. It was the logical, happy ending end. Bella and Edward lived happily ever after. Harry Potter defeated Voldemort. Happily ever after. Boom. What would it be about? We came to a stop. The main conflict of the whole series has been solved. You're just gonna keep going and going and going. Like, when are you gonna stop then? It's not a thing that needs to be in the world, and this Harry Potter book is not a thing that needs to be in the world. Lunar Chronicles, if there was another book, like just a whole book, what would the book be? When I said I wanted an 8th Harry Potter book, I didn't actually want another Harry Potter book. I don't know that dragging things out to make more money or just to please whatever fans you have is a good idea. Make something new. Make something fresh. People will still read it, whatever it is, hopefully. J.K. Rowling has still been incredibly successful since she stopped writing Harry Potter, and I just don't know that we need to go back to that specific character and drag things out. It was wrapped up fine in the 7th book. I mean, truthfully, the epilogue was like a little bit gag-worthy, but we'll let that slide. I'm gonna pretend Harry Potter and the Cursed Child never came out. I'm gonna pretend it didn't exist. I'm gonna pretend that it ended at book 7. I'm not going to read Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, and I don't think you should either. Okay, bye.